Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome to my channel. Really appreciate you tuning in. And if you haven't been here before, thank you so much for joining and watching. Also, if you want to subscribe, that will be wonderful. And if you like the video, do give a like, please. It always helps the channel out. Guys, yes, I've been having a lot of questions around my fields and field creation. So I thought I'll quickly make a video just to show how easy and simple it is to create fields. It's a tedious job, and I want to make it as simple as possible for myself, because it takes a lot of time to create fields in the game, and that's just the way they've built the editor. I'm sure there's lots of easier ways to do it, but yeah, they've gone about and done it the hard way. That's just my opinion. But anyway, not that I'm a developer or know anything about programming and that. I'm sure there is much easier ways to set waypoints and markers on an area or on a plane, to to create fields. But anyway, that's the way the editor works. So let me quickly run you through my process. And I'm not saying here this is the best way to do it. It's just the way I'm doing it, and I find it simple and easy. So I'd like to share that with you guys, whoever is interested in that. So without further ado, what you do is you get yourself obviously a blank map first of all. Now, the blank map I'm using for this job is one by CAD64. I will leave a link in the description. It's a 16 times map. I've just chosen this one just for the purpose of making the video. So here it is. In the blank map, I've deleted all the field information so that there's nothing in the map, and I'm going to show you how to easily create fields. Now, if you already have some fields on it, it's much easier, but if there's nothing in the map, then it's a process to do that. Now, I'm sure if you look at the other guys' videos on how to start making the maps, it's a huge step, and you have to create all kinds of scripts and things, to get the map going and started. With the exception of one, we have to obviously create the field folder. So the first thing we're going to do is just create a transform group by going create transform group, and then it's there. And then we rename that to fields. Now just remember to make these exactly like that, small letters. Obviously you have to spell it correctly as well, otherwise it won't work. I'm typing here with one hand, guys, sorry man. And then obviously you want to control an X to cut that and drop it into the transform group where you want your fields folder to exist or to show up. So I'm going to put mine in the maps folder here. You can put it higher up in the tree, doesn't matter, but I would always put it either in the map or in the folder that keeps all the map thing, like the gameplay and the planes and whatever. I'm going to move this up just to under the gameplay, which is, I think for this case, probably just above the water planes. So that is where I would like to have my fields folder. Now, in order for this field folder to work, you need a script to tell the editor that this is the fields folder, because otherwise if you go here to scripts and you have the field folder selected, obviously, otherwise it's going to show you this field definition root. You have to select that. So if you don't have that, so first of all you go map and then toggle render field areas, and you'll see now it tells us it doesn't see this as a field folder where the field waypoints and things are stored. So it is empty here at the attributes, and that is the problem. So we have to create a script for it. So in order for you to get that, it's very simple and easy. You go to any of the giant maps. I've just loaded the US one, and you can find that obviously in the directory under your game folder, data folder, and then maps, and then you scroll down to the US one that says map US. That's the two maps, and the other one is map DE. That's the German one, and that's the US one. So you just open that i3D, and it will bring you into the map. And then you just select the fields folder, and then under Windows you get the attributes window. So if yours isn't on, the user attribute, sorry, not the attribute. If yours isn't on, then just select it here. So if you select user attributes, you'll get this here. And this little script here is what we need in the editor for the editor to actually recognize that that folder is the fields folder. Now the script name, all you do is copy that just by Control C, selecting it and copying it, and just make a note on the on create, because that's the call for the script. It's on create, it's going to call this script. So that's it, basically all we need to know in this map. And then you go back to your map and you select your fields folder, and in attributes you'll see it's empty. And in here you just type the on create, that's the call for the script. Like that, exactly, with the C as a cap, and it must be exactly spelled like that. And you select a script callback, obviously, because that's the type of attribute you want. So you click add, and there it is. We've created it, and then you paste the actual script that it needs to call, which is field util. And that's it. You're done. You have created or made this field folder now a fields folder for the game. So you go scripts now, you go to FS19, you go map and toggle render field areas, and voila, there you'll have it. It won't give you the error anymore. Obviously we don't have any fields, so otherwise you would see the fields in it. So our folder is still empty. Now the next thing you do in the game, in your map, you go to and go through the first thing you obviously do is right click here, and then you select expand all. Mine was already expanded, so I'm just going to select expand all, and it will expand the whole tree. So the next thing you do is start minimizing them one at a time until you get to the field folder. And then you look at these fields and you look at the one that has got the most corners in it, because you want to save yourself all the work, the most work you can. Now, I've already had a look. Field 17 is the one that's got the most. Oh, don't do that, because this thing is so sensitive. It scrolls so fast you can't keep up with it. So let me just go back there. There you go. Field 17 is the one with the most corners on this map. It's got 8 corners, which is really very little. So you just click on it there. You go File. You go Export Selection with Files. And then I've created on my desktop, I've extracted the map that I've downloaded. I've extracted into a folder and just named it Boondocks. So that is the map when it's extracted. And then you go into a place where you can just temporarily store this export. So I'm going to just put it under maps, map DE. You'll see I've already done that just for the video. And then you give it the name field 01. Because you can actually call it anything, it doesn't matter. I'll just call it field 01, but it's not going to import as, it's going to import as field 17 anyway. So you just put it there, you click save, and it will ask you, do you want to replace it? Obviously, yes. The parent directory, you can go yes on both of those, because we're working out of the Giants map. And that one, I just want to mute my phone, because otherwise it's going to beep here with messages coming in. All right. So we're working out of the Giants map. So if you were exporting out of any other map, you just select no on both those things, because otherwise it's going to use that tree and maybe cause you errors on the once you've imported that. You might find files missing or whatever whenever you give the map to someone else, that's your biggest danger. So anyway, you just yes there if you work out of the Giants maps, which is good. And then you go back into your own map, and you're going to go File, Import, and you go to the same folder on where you've extracted and where you've uploaded it. You click there and you click on Open, and it will bring it in. There it is, field 17. Very nicely done. All the corners are already there. Now, if you have done this on any of your other maps before, and you've gone through all the work making a field with 50 corners or 100 corners, or how many either, it's better to use that one, because it makes life easier. You'll see just now. So what you do with this one now, obviously you're going to Control X and put it into your fields folder, because that's where you want to work with it. The very first thing is rename the name to 01, because that's your start field. If this is your first field, if it's your 10th field or whatever, obviously you won't need this whole process. Okay, now field 1 will be in the middle of the map because that's where the editor imports everything right to the center. So it's lying there now dormant. So we're going to not bother with that. The field dimension folder, you leave that in the center. You don't drag that anywhere, but the corners is the ones you want to work with. So you select corner 1, and I've already quickly draw a map here or a field. Let us quickly show you just how to do that if you haven't done that before. You select the terrain editing tool, which is the foliage layer painting tool. Sorry, this one here. Foliage layer paint mode. You select that one and make sure you're on terrain detail. All right, so that's the key there. And then once you've done that, you can use any size brush you want. You can change the brush here in size and round or square or whatever. But I want to work with round maps, fields. Because square ones, it's very easy to make, because on square ones you just use the 3 corners and that's it. It just have one corner with 3 points on it, and that's your whole square map done. But the round ones is the ones with the problems. So that is why I've made this here. So I'm going to just make it a bit bigger. Let's just do a new one here. So now empty this. Let's quickly just drag this over. Right, I've made my brush big. So here we go. So if you left click and drag, you create field like that. If you just want to make this a bit smaller, if you right click now, you can remove field by right clicking. So left is create, right click is remove. So that's how simple it is. So these are round field now. Now we want to quickly bring these corners into the field. So deselect the terrain tool, and then you go to corner 1. And what I like to do is just drop in look at your field and find the long edges first. Do the long edges first, and then you can come into the round ones. So we're going to quickly do the long edges on this. This is just an example. You see now I'm bringing the whole corner 1 in, and it's nice because you can actually see it because it's blue. So you drop corner 1 there where the arrow is. Corner 2, you go to the other side. You select corner 2 and then Control B. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. You have to use Control B to place. So you select the corner, like I've selected corner 1. Control B, and you hold the mouse in to move it. So you put corner 1 where you want corner 1 to be with the arrow. And then corner 2. Control B to place it, and it will move. You can now put corner 2 anywhere, but we want to do this long edge first, so I'm going to put it there. And then corner 3, Control B to select where you want it. Now I just normally put it somewhere like that to cover the most ground on one corner, you know. Now a quick tip for you guys. It's always good to be like perpendicular to the field you are working with. Now, to quickly see if you are, you can look at this circle of your corner. You see it is not quite round. So if I move my screen, you'll see now it's gone to a complete white circle. That means I am actually here above. So what I need to do now is turn my map, move a bit over to the left. All right. And now if I turn back, you'll see there it is. If the circle is nice and white, I'm exactly above my field, which is very important when you work with fields, because otherwise, if you look at this blue thing from the side, you're gonna place it where it actually looks like it's right, but the moment you're on top, it's not in the spot anymore. All right, just a tip for you guys there. All right, so corner 2, we're going to do the other side. Control B to select that. You place it down. The next corner, drop it down there. And don't worry, guys, about the things like that that's sticking out. I'll show you later how to quickly fix that. It's very simple and easy. So that you do. And then you go here, the next corner, drop that down. Now we've got the round ones to work with. So I'm going to go there. And go there. And all you do now is you just place them. You're actually just bringing the fields from there where they are. You can see they're all lying there. So you just positioning them to the new place where you want them to cover, you know. So you're not recreating the whole field thing, you know. Control B, put that in there. Now on a corner like this, you're going to have a few squares to place because it's like a bit round, you know. So I'm just going to quickly run through these. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I don't want to make the video too long, because this is like repeating work, you know. So I like to go just past the previous one in order for it to overlap a little bit. Now you'll see if I've now finished the whole map, you can come in closer and just rearrange your corners if you want. But I found it's not really that big of a crisis, you know, to have them that precise. Never really had any problems with it. But the ones, I was actually zoomed out a bit too far. But the ones that you see needs a bit of more careful adjustment. You can clearly do that. Just placing them nicely like that. All right. So now, once you've done that, the next thing you do is you go back into your field mode. And then you can just trim these sides, make them nice. With your right mouse button, you remove field. And with your left button, you create field. So you just go like that, make them nice here, all the ones that you skipped. Now another tip on this, guys, if you're looking at your the ground, look at this edge here. It's nicely like spray painted, but if you move out, you'll see they become fuzzy. So move your window in. I just want to get my thing fairly centered like that. So if you move your zoom in, you'll see they become clear like that. Then you know you are close enough to actually do the editing. And then all you do is go there, and we will create that little bit there, make it nice. And you just have to work with those that's sticking out, you know. You don't have to, oops, sorry, that's the wrong button. And there you go, guys. And that one is not too nice, so you can move that tip a bit the way there. And once you've done all of that and you're happy with your field, you can just close, collapse all again, go back into your field folder and go script and retoggle the render field areas. And there you have it. Your field creation is all done and you are ready to rock and roll. And that's how simple it is, you know, making a quick field or some fields. So if you want to then multiply this field, let's just quickly toggle that script again. Obviously you have to select it. Terrain, map, toggle field areas. All right, so we go back into field 1. So if you want to create another field, you just make another field, and there it is, your another field, and you just duplicate this. So you select the whole field, not the fields there, but the actual field that you have with all the waypoints or the triangles or the squares. Control and D to duplicate. Rename field to the next field number. So if that was field 10, this would be field 11. So you just rename that. And remember to rename the corners. So if you go to the corners, sorry, it will already be, you don't have to rename the corners. Sorry, man, I'm in creation mode here. So you just rename the field and the rest will be done for you. Field dimensions, corners already done. Easy as pie. And then all you do is you start with this. Remember, this corners will now be a duplicate of what is here. So you're going to move this corners now over to that one there. So you start the whole process again. Corner 1, corner 2, and corner 3. You know the whole thing. And you just move all these corners. And if you've finished with the whole thing and you've got corners left, very important to delete those. Say you come now to the end of your thing and you've covered the whole field with corners and there's some corners left. Remember to delete them, because otherwise you're going to have big problems in this field. It happened to me once. I had a field and suddenly there was another crop growing inside my other field over the existing crop. Crazy stuff like that happens. So remember to delete. And then the last thing, on your next field, remember to move your map field indicator. Place that, and then I forgot to show you that in field 1 also the map field indicator will still be there in the middle, because that is the number of your field, so that must be in the middle. All right, and there you have it. So field 1, field 2, now you can toggle between them, map indicators. So this is field 1 and that is field 2, and that's it, guys. All done. Script, callback. You have to select the fields folder. Always remember to do that. This mouse of mine. Okay, here we go. Render field areas. And there you go. Fields is done. Now you can save your map and enjoy your workers working perfectly in your marked map. That's just a way for the workers to figure out where they are, and where the map boundaries is. So they work inside that blue field that you've made. Good. And also the crops grow in there and all that. So if you make a map and you don't want, if you want the player to make its own fields or plow his own fields, you can mark the fields like this, but just have no fields in the game marked. Obviously the worker's not going to work, but the player is going to have to plow his own fields for the crops to grow there, and the game to actually know that that is now a field. Otherwise, it's just a texture on the ground. Okay. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. This is Farmer Bob. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if it helped a little bit, I'm really grateful. Take care, guys, and have a wonderful day. Cheers, man.